Szlávén Baktáli Romálé, köszöntöm Önöket! Az oroszlános kapu közelében, Jeruzsálem palesztinok lakta területén, az óváros ódon falai mögött található az a terület, ahol a domári romák ma is élnek. Napjainkban a közösségnek körülbelül 1000 tagja van, de élnek domárik még a közel-kelet országaiban, Szíriában, Jordániában, Irakban és Iránban. Mai adásunkban a domári romák életével ismerkedhetnek meg.
Did you heard about the Domari community?
Yes, we heard about them, yes. We know them. They are very kind people, but most of them are beggars, of course.
I don't know anybody in this street. You can go inside, there's a lot of gypsies inside, so you can talk to them.
Did you heard about the gypsies of Jerusalem, the Nawar people?
Nawar? I know a Nawar here. Yeah, in Jerusalem we have here Nawar, but I don't know its customs or anything about it.
A jeruzsálemi domárik már több mint 100 éve letelepedtek. A közel 8000 fős népesség közül mintegy 600 fő még mindig a jeruzsálemi óváros cigány negyedében él.
الصخرة في الأقصى ترثي في التلة أزهار الدحنون وهضاب القدس بكت دمعا ودما وجراحا وشجون وقباب مساجدنا نادى سيعود زمان المنتصرين سقط القنديل الآخر وبكى شجر الزيتون.
A domárik elszigetelt, stigmatizált kisebbség. Elutasítottak és kitaszítottak mind a palesztinok, mind az izraeliek részéről. Ebből a helyzetből teremtett kiutat az egyetlen közel-keleti cigány szervezet és a muszlim munkája.
Gypsies, they've been brought to this country through some Islamic types or groups, the first groups who arrive here. So of course, religion for them it's important. But not that important. How can I say it's not that important? Like we are not very religious people. We have just 3 types of gypsies family. So, and the third one we call it like the small group. It's not compared like a big group here. So that's why I choose to do 2 different families that you can really meet with them today. And we have 3 types. It's family slim, like maybe you read in the book. And family member, and you have Bourani family, who's like we consider the Bouranis family who come from Jordan, or they are the roots more like outside the not Palestinian gypsies, what we call them, you know. See with the bird to make little bit to make us little bit feel like we are happy. Yes, easy. In Jerusalem, we are settlers. That is our issue, but we are not welcome to be settlers. So we get a lot of bad treatments from some people, you know, here in the country. So they always hear the gypsies doing bad things to gypsies to make them move. But some gypsies, they are very smart. They still keep, and the rest they, you know, they can't stay for many bad things that is happening, you know, so they run away and they leave their homes. Even my home where we live, we get a lot of problems. Even 3 weeks ago, many stones, many bottles that it was coming on our house. So it was very bad, and that make, if we are like a family or you know, people, they don't love the city and feel like we are tradition people here and we must keep here. Long time ago, they were really leave from the area what we are. But in my home, my family live in this home almost like 200 years in the same house. This center is kind of hope, and we call it like a small window for the gypsies. Small window, how I mean with a small window, many gypsies women, they can come here, they can learn education, and they can really feel like they are sitting at home. If we don't have this place, you will not see it with any, they will not go to any places to get the education.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
My name is Zarifa Slim. I am from Gypsy community. I live in Jerusalem, in the old city. in Lionsgate. My work is a nurse in delivery hospital for maternal hospital. I come to Gypsy Center sometimes to help the woman for educating to take care from themselves and for children. First, I work as a head nurse in the hospital because we don't have enough money to continue in the university. And then I study and working in the same time. I save some money and I continue my education in the university for nursing. For me, I see the future in my kids now. Yeah, to let them big and learning and depend on themselves and to make something nice for their community and not ashamed that they are gypsy. Now they, in the school, most of them didn't know that they are gypsy because they're afraid to feel ashamed from, the student in the school and, as we feel when we are children in the school.
I do the work with Layla, and at the beginning we just start to read what she read in school, but I understand that she have a bad English, and the most important thing to know English good because it's the universal language at work. And because she didn't know Hebrew too, she have to communicate with the people inside this country. Look at my Muslim culture because it may be like that in Iran because they go with a black uniform, let's say. But here is the difference. It's not too much different. My parents educated and they learned here in the Hebrew University 30 years ago, and they know that women or anyone just have their rights, full rights, all the rights that they can do. I think that every woman here just have to get their rights, even if they hide their head or not, even if Muslims or Jewish or anyone. People have this idea about this that they have to be a woman just to work and to work at home. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just to be at home and care of kids and husband, and that's it. But it's not good. It's not such fair, and that's not fine. I'm here. I want to tell all the world that I'm here, and I can achieve more than to be just a woman. I explain it all the time, every day. You are good. You can achieve something. You are big. You are nice. You are every day.
My name is Kasha. I'm 22. I'm a student. I came here a month ago, and I will stay here for a longer time, I hope. I'm doing, simple things, just trying to help as much as I can, because I think it's really vital to help the community, help the people, because they are, in a bad situation in the community and in other groups, and especially women, because they are generally more discriminated everywhere, and here the situation is also worse. So it's good to encourage them to do something to make them empowered and help them. Here in Jerusalem, it's also a different situation, because in Europe, people help them more. Like, in the European Union, there are projects, and it's different, because here it's like nobody remembers about them. If the community center didn't exist, it would be like an empty space. They would be Arabs. So I think here it's a different situation.
The gypsies living like very close to each other. So this place there, it was Turkish Pass. It's closed now. This is closed from the 60s. But this is only one gypsy family. They were really take care of this place. It was a very special place. And that's why I call it, look, it's pity. That it also can show that our history was closed up, So as you see, this is mixed neighborhood. It's a Christians and Muslim neighborhood and gypsy neighborhood. So in this area, we will go to these families. They are simple houses, but it's okay. They lived in this houses more than 100 years in this place, and they add some new building. Like really, all the families live in one big room because the wall now. They get rent from the Palestinians, and the Palestinians, they want their houses back because the wall, you know, they can't go to the West Bank, so it's better to live inside the old city or Jerusalem. So that's what they did. So sometimes they, you know, they take the house that belonged to them, and that's why we don't mean it like kick them out. It's their own right. It's their own house, so easy for them to take it again back to them. So that was one of the problems.
Dom.
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 Me, gypsy.
I'm gypsy.
سكاكين على صدري أرى في حدها قبري وليل في بخيلتي تسافر فيه عيناك أأنساك أجيبيني فإن البعد والحرمان.
What is the reason why they put flower design, or do they have any kind of special design, the Domaris?
Yeah, I think they are also optimistic people. They always like to have the bright colors. They always like colorful things. And as you see, sometimes you have like that one behind you, the pillows, so many colors. But it's very happy color if you look to it. It's look busy, but it's nice.
And what is the meaning of the tattoos?
بحط عسل على ظهرهم، على اجريهم، على شو عادي. يعني مبسوط الواحد اصله.
مش كل واحد هون لازم يعرف العيلة، اسم العيلة تبعته. إذا بتكون اسم العيلة مثلا إلها قيمة وإلها وزن بهتموا فيه. أما إذا بكون العيلة يعني ما لهاش وزن ولا قيمة خلص، خصوصا إذا كانوا نور يعني بنظروا لهم نظرة إنهم هدول مش مناح عاطلين ويعني هيك أشياء.
What he wishes for the boys?
زي ما بدهم أساتذة، محامي، إشي دكتور. زي هي هذه بتحكي بدها تطلع معلمة، هي بتحب كنت أطلع محامي.
Well, Jerusalem, first we'll look at Jerusalem in this context of Israel. Jerusalem is the largest city in Israel and is the poorest city of Israel. Of 7.2 million Israelis, 720,000 live in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is 10% of the country. It's the poorest place, and in Jerusalem, of all the poor stratas of society, I would say the Domari are on the very bottom. They are the poorest in the poorest city in one of the states of the Middle East. The obstacles are horrendous. She has tremendous obstacles in her way. First, the Domari are invisible. They're invisible for the Jews because we see them as Arabs. The Arabs are invisible to us, so we don't see that they're not really Arabs. Their misery is invisible to the Palestinian Arabs. Only their pain counts. I think everybody looking for the old time. The old time, it was much better than this time. Especially, like you can say 200 years ago, it was a great life. They say they have horses, they have their own houses, not so much communities around them. They were more independent. They can do whatever they want, and they were proud of their living. Like they say they are gypsy in a proud way. Right now, it's more a scaring way and attention way.
And your grandmother, she has this position in the community because she was a doctor. She was giving, let's say, medicine to others. She has this position as a woman, as a strong position.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, she have. She be a respectful person, and she have a power. Like I call her like a man from the society. She's not a woman at all for my eyes. How she really meant the things and she do it, and I think she been great. Like helping a lot in the society and good advisor that make everybody really understand what she is willing to do in this society. And maybe that's why I feel like my grandmother, my mother, my dad was a good example for me that I goes in the same direction that my family was going through. And we're trying. Still, the way is still long in the front of us, but we hope we will do it. On the 6th-day war, the gypsies, they were really hiding in this church for 6 days or a little bit longer because their houses, they run out from their houses. They are living close to the, the church, and their house is not safely enough that they can stay inside the church, inside their house. So they run and they come to the churches where they can really hide with their kids, and they stayed during the war there. My grandmother, she used to, doing kind of, we call it like advantage work. So she went out bringing food and get back to the church to feed her children, and running, from corner to corner to try to find, in that day, you don't have food, you don't have anything, so it was for them very important to take care of their kids. So they were really getting out and inside the place where they can really help their kids to be survived in that time. After the 6 days, they turned back to their houses because their houses is not far away from the place where they are. So they went and they stay in their, where they live close to the church in this neighborhood. So as you see from there, we can show you that some of the walls that was in that time, this wall, but now it's a little bit, they make it a little bit higher. So they were easy for them to jump from that area to here.
A domárik nem mutatták meg nekünk életük szegényes, nehéz oldalát, direkt mondja Amun, hogy ne a szegénységre emlékezzetek. Úgy véli, formálni kell az emberek lenéző hozzáállását. Amun 9 évesen eldöntötte, hogy képeslapokat fog árulni a turistáknak. Döntésével példát mutatott és fejlődést hozott saját közösségébe.
Begging in the street, I like to sell and make good business and collect money. Because I was always feel like I want to be independent, and I think we can really be in better position that we are, So that's why I decided really, for instance, to,
And how did the others reacted on your new behavior?
Some of the children, they were really like follow me a little bit, but it was funny. Like I was young, but I feel like I was not the strongest one, but everybody like looking to me like jealousing. Like I'm always decide things and do it. We are in the desert. You will see now Bedouins, donkeys, camels. It's nice. The old Jericho city in the middle of the desert. Salam אדוני.
אתה יהודים?
לא.
אתה יהודי?
אני לא.
לא, הוא.
לא. הונגרי. כולם. כן. תודה. גם לך, ביי. So, you are Jewish? I say no. We are lucky. Usually they ask you for...
حكاية العم صالح هي حكاية ضمير في زمن بقت المصالح بتغير ناس كتير. حكاية العم صالح هي حكاية ضمير في زمن بقت المصالح بتغير ناس كتير.
مرحبا. الحمد لله الله يخليك. من القدس بس هدول تلفزيون أجنبي.
ايه جنسياتهم؟
هنغارية. شكرا. My father, I found, I consider him a great man, and I have honor for my father. He gave us a freedom to choose what we want.
And was it a unique thing from your father's side?
Of course it's unique things. My father, he's a great man, like he's good supporter and good believe in kind of education can get you to the side that you want to do. And that's why my father was great, you know, like give us a chance to continue our study and even to work, to be involved, to be in working. Usually you don't see it with all gypsy men to give it for their daughters. That's why our way is not easy. We always try to create the easiest way to reach the man's heart before the women. So like for instance, when the women come to the center, we usually have a transportation to them, to pick them up from their home, to bring them back, to bring sometimes their husbands. Some of them, they want to check how the center is, if there are bad things going on or whatever. It's kind of controlling sometimes. And as much as we can, we try to make it easy, like to make the picture very clear so the gypsies can really understand it's okay and it's safely.
Well, the hardest thing to find in a oppressed people is a leader. They have a leader. Now we need the easy thing. We need money. Amun is bankrupt. She has no money. She deserves a salary, a decent salary. She needs a good lawyer by her side. We need to go to the Supreme Court and fight for recognition of the gypsies as a viable minority in Israel.
This center is like a future center for the new generation and also for the culture. If we don't have this place, I think the culture will die and the gypsies will get smit with Arab society and they will concern like any of this society. But of course, in the Arab society, it will be left out, and that is what would be happening.
How do you feel that the situation of Domari people somehow reflects to our situation in Europe?
Yes, when they describe their problems, they sound like the description of problems of Roma from Balkan Mahalas. Yes, it's true. At the same time, first of all, then Domari community is not too strong and is not too big here. There are not too many Domaris. Maximum maybe 7,000 across the whole Israel, Palestine. The Domari language and Romanes they're like cousins. So someone who knows Roma language in depth and who knows Domari language well, they make comparison and say yes. And actually we can, I mean, there are certain words in Romanes and in Domari language which are common.
For example, can you tell me something? Maybe you remember.
Bel, ben, dai, dat.
How did it happen that you decided to live in Israel?
The interesting thing that exists in this world is the law of return. Anyone who has at least one Jewish grandparent can come and live in the state of Israel, can make so-called aliyah, the immigration to Israel. And I did so in 1995 as a grandson of a Jewish woman. Many Jewish people know that Roma people were also targets of the Nazi extermination. Roma people are also targets of discrimination, even on larger scale than the Jews. So the fact that I raise my Roma identity in response to different discriminatory sayings, then it helps me. In contrary to Russia, for example, where I had to hide my Roma identity.
There are Russian Roma, there are Romanian, there are Bulgarian Roma in Israel. Sometimes we meet with one another. More often we talk with one another by phone. And some of us go abroad, and some of us, like me, for example, participates in the international Roma movement and goes to Europe to certain particular events related to Roma issues.
Despite the war, despite the military things going on around, many people live like during the peace. We got used to many things which Europe forget. So somewhere can happen military action, an explosion, or terrorist attack, but in another place, in another town, people live as if nothing happened. So we pay attention, but at the same time, we don't stop to live. We don't live in fear. It relates to Arabs, it relates to Jews, it relates to Roma, to Russians, whoever lives here. The life continues. Bachtali, ai bachtali patraditu men,
de casamento chamado-se o nascimento de Europa e de Jerusalém. Mistou a vilana com Israel.